The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Basil Chapman.
Hi everyone, Basil Chapman, Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, noon till 1 p.m. Eastern Time. 877-927-6648 is the number to call. In fact, we've got callers right now. Let's just go to the Dow. The Dow's up 600 points at 23,285. Yesterday at this time was down sharply and it closed down over 600 points. That was incredible action, but we're just stuck in a range, in fact, for the last 4 or 5 days. Let me run the numbers so we can go to our callers. Here we go. Dow needs to really clear, and I would say decisively, the 23,500 level by no later than Tuesday. If we can do that, then we've got ourselves a really nice January rebound. If we break down by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week below 22,500, it's just 22,500, yeah, it's just 1,000 points, but under that says, still stuck in this very volatile area. Let's go to the S&P, SPX.X, there we go. S&P is up 68 to 25.16, so it's up 2.8%, Dow's up 2.7%, and this one has, in fact, gone 25, 20, 27, 25, 25. Yeah, this has started a leg B. It's still a gray leg B because the technicals are only now turning up. So, yep, it is a good sign. But here again, I'd like the S&P to be in the 25, 32-ish area or higher, and that'll be really good. That'll also help the weekly chart. The support must hold the 24.46 level over the next 3-4 days. It should. QQQ, that's the index 100, starting a leg C. Now, this is a very quick peak A, peak B, peak C. I'll talk a little more about that later on in the daily chart. And I'm still calling it a gray peak A, peak B, peak C because the technicals are just starting to improve. At 155.52, it's up 3.8%, much better than the others. Up 571 and 155.54. I would like to see this at 157.80 to 158.60 within another couple of days. Gee, these things could do it today with this crazy market. IWM is trading at 136.48, up 4.23, up 3.20%. So it's the Nasdaq is the superior one right now. The Russell 2000 needs to get. This is also a quick, very quick peak A, peak B, leg C. Needs to get to the 139.50 level. That'll be very impressive. Certainly doesn't have to break. It shouldn't break under the 131 support. Let's go to gold. Gold right now is down just 7. It was down much more before. It's getting a little bit toppy, but the technicals are still very good in the daily and the weekly. Monthly is improving. Silver is up. Silver is up. Sorry. Yeah, silver is up. 0.08. It was up earlier. I didn't know if it was still holding. Silver's playing catch up. In fact, silver could be the leader, and that's going to be very interesting because it was the laggard. So silver trading with Doji Canada 15.80. 16.30 is really a breakout for silver, another breakout, and there's tremendous support now at 15.40s in the 200-period moving average. Now let's also look at the crude oil. Crude oil is trading. It was up quite nicely before. It's up 90 cents. Yeah, this is a start. Let's see in the daily chart. Crude oil at 47.96 really needs to get to the 51.5 area. That'll be very impressive action. That should last. If it can get there, a break below 44 says, nah, not yet. TLT should be pulling back. It is. It's down 135 at 122.19. No big deal, but it does say bonds should be taking a bit of a breather right now. The dollar is still acting very well, considering it is down 15 cents, but it's in the trading range. I think it's wasn't planning that. A sneeze. I think it's in a digestive phase. And we're going to go right now to our first caller. We've got Bob in Framingham. Bob, how are you?
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Delay. You would like to look at?
GameStop, George Mike Echo.
GameStop Corporation trading at 14.80, up just a little bit today, up $1.83 at 14.11%. There must be some news. Was that earnings?
Well, what it was, I bought it a few days ago. I went to old school, which was there's a GameStop store around here with knowledgeable managers in a strip mall rather than one of the big malls.
Okay.
And I said, how's business been going? I said, boy, it's been booming. And a couple of days ago, when the market was slamming down and GameStop was one of the few things that was holding its own with green candles, I said, I'm going to buy some. So I loaded up on calls at $13. $13 calls this month and next month. So I've closed out a little more than a third of my position at roughly a 4Xer, but I'd like to finesse the rest of it. And because the deltas on these calls are up in the 0.70s, it's time to sell them and move them out in time or up in strike price. But no sense selling the rest of them until they've reached their peak. So the question is, gosh, Basil, could you look in your crystal ball and tell me where you think this is going to? It's in a Chapman Wave Daily Peak A, and it has just pushed up into the 200-day exponential moving average. And the news piece is that apparently two companies that go out and buy companies and take them private is looking to gobble them up.
Okay, all right. There had to be a story here. So if it's two, okay, this is what I'm going to, first of all, I don't know how you did it. Really good eye. That was just like the perfect setup, and you got the perfect result. And I applaud you because it did gap up, and then it kind of gave back some of it earlier on, and I'm looking at this and I thought, what is that? And then I decided to do a little work, and if you look at the weekly chart, this is what we call a gray leg A to the upside because it's still underneath the previous high, which is just over 15, and it did make a lower low in the 1150s. So the MACD is turned up sharply, but it did that before, and the stochastic rallied before as well, and then it gave up a huge chunk. So I'm going to say to you, first of all, I think you've planned your strategy really well. Secondly, I think you're implementing it extremely well. And the idea of rolling out, taking profits, and then moving to a more longer-term position, especially when you've got two people vying for the same company, that means that there's not just a bidding war. It means that it is in play. And I like stocks that are in play because it really gives them a tremendous cushion, because during especially aberrational times like this, where markets can go anywhere, if your stock is holding very well through those declines, it's saying there's a story there, and it's a good story. Here's what I'm looking at. So you'll know this very well. There's a particular pattern that I talk about. It's called the arch formation, lowercase h, in fact. And it looks just like a declining line that goes down, down, down. And then there's a bounce, and that bounce fails, and it turns around and tries to come back down. And in this particular case, it made a low in March, around about 12. It ran all the way to 17 in a weekly chart PT, and in the same number of bars, it came down. In fact, it's a fewer bars before it broke to the upside. That's a successful dreaded H test, which should go to the next resistance. Hold on, and I'll give you what I'm looking at for this chart as soon as we get back. Dow's up 662. Basil Chapman with Bob in Framingham. We'll be right back.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hi, folks. We're back with Bob in Framingham. Hi, Bob. So I'm looking at the daily chart. I didn't want to do the notations just yet. I just wanted to show you something very interesting. If you look at the left side to right side price time match, you'll see that the low that was made in GameStop, and actually I thought they'd be out of business because everything seems to be done online. But I did walk past one a couple of months ago, and there were quite a few people there, and I thought, hey, I wonder what's going on, but I didn't follow it up at all. And now you're looking at on the 29th of March of 2018, there was a low of 1220. Well, it ran all the way up to a high of $17.27, August, the 22nd of August of 2018. So as I look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, just for argument's sake, let's say 5 months of rallying. And then it drops very sharply, almost immediately. From August to September, it goes from the 17s down to 13.08, rallies back, makes the V-shaped formation, the Groucho Marx formation, the eyebrows, and at 17.04, which is 13 cents below the high that was made in August, it starts another decline. Well, it turns out that decline was like 2 weeks out of all this time. It took from April of 2018 to the low that was made just recently in December, the 26th of December, to break down, go underneath that low, and then start a rally. So that's that left side, right side price time match, like a sideways mirror image rather than up and down mirror image. And that says that the rally that started, having broken and closed below the left side low importance, that's the low that was back in April in the 12 area, says that it should rally, and it should rally to above to either moving averages of resistance or a peak of resistance. Well, not only did this break on the move today above the highs that were made, the peaks that were made on the 12th of December of 1353, and the ones that were made round about December the 4th at 1411, plus the gap, it has run to exactly the 200-period moving average. So there are a number of things that are saying to me, this is in play. The way to play it is fabulously done with options, as you've done. And I like the fact you've taken at least a third off, because did you expect last night when you went to sleep that today you'd see anything more than maybe a little bit of a pop-up or maybe start to be in the money? This is a fantastic gain. So I have to give you bravos for that. And now my thinking is I look at the weekly chart, and the same thinking of the daily says that the weekly should go and try to tackle the moving averages of importance above, which is just spliced right through 1377. Therefore, the next peak of importance is 15.22. That was the high that was made on the week of the 30th of November in the weekly chart. If it can get there, that's going to probably make the MACD cross positive. Stochastic, which is still really quite weak at 18% in the weekly chart, should now move to probably about the 23-25% area. And now you're talking about really strong support levels. And as long as, it could, whatever's discussed right now could fade for a little while, as there's nothing discussed because offers have been made. But as soon as someone takes out and says, yes, the next offer, and it's higher, your call options are going to soar. And then I would take the next third, and I'll try to keep the core position. And I think you're doing it really well. I would have said to you yesterday at the close, the weekly and the monthly charts look terrible. Now I can say to you, the weekly chart has improved a lot. Monthly still looks terrible. But hey, this is a stock that was up in the 45s back in 2016. This is really good action. Nice move, Bob.
Well, hearing the good report from the actual store manager and past managers, that store is very active amongst gamers who swap games and upgrade equipment. It's probably like a speed shop, automotive speed shop back in the 70s. The people who use this particular store, and them saying, no, we've had strong sales. And I've talked to people. My wife was at the Solomon Pond Mall and said that all the stores there were kind of moderate, except for GameStop, which was thriving. So I said, well, good. And that was after I got into it. The thing that I look at is being very positive here. I drew a trend line down from the peak of 9/13/2018 and the next to 11/2018, and then also at the end of November, and we blasted right through that trend line today as it shot up to the 200. So it's moving with power, and the news is good so far, and it sounds as though wait till 15, you're saying, and go up there. One thing I contemplated doing was selling my positions now on any little of a twitch in them and buying at a strike price of 15. And let the delta work its way back up again, which is often a way of gaining profit on options that are moving.
Yes. Also, because you're looking at so close, 15, if you were up at 16, I would say, with time and price, that is just too much of a stretch, but a point lower is very practical. So yeah, I'd be looking, you've got 200-period moving average. It has to cross the 200-period moving average. It has to start making the whole 1450 area support, and then it's ready. But I'm looking at it as a rumor stock with a really good story. I like that because that says it's in play. It says that you could do what you were thinking of right now. And in fact, just take almost all your profits, because it's really a spectacular profit in a very short period of time, and just rethinking it through. Yeah, you might miss a push to the 1525 area. I'm pretty sure that over the next 2 weeks, you'll have an opportunity somewhere in the 1450 to 1430 area to reestablish positions for the looking out, and maybe another month or two. But so far, it's really good action. Nice going.
Well, I think it's a blessing from God, actually. That's the way I look at these things. You wake up in the morning and something miraculous happens. That's sometimes a good source to look to God on it. But whatever, I'm happy to have the money.
I agree with you. And whether religious or not, I think you got a great trade. Hey, thanks for calling, Bob, and good luck for the rest of it.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. So, folks, a couple of questions came in. Let me just get to, I wanted to finish something here. I want you to look at the euro, USD. This is the euro-dollar currency pair. It's up, but, it's still stuck in that range. And that's why I was looking at gold as the fear factor with the bank index pulling back. But now look at the bank index, XLF. The bank index is up very nicely, up 2.94%. We have a bank stock which is doing really nicely here. I'm thinking that we're seeing a lot of action that's telling us that there are certain groups that are changing characteristics, and we've got to keep that in mind right now. I'll be back straight after this important break. Dow's at 7.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, everyone. We're back. So, really interesting questions just came in. So, I'm going to go backwards here. One that just came in from GT says, yield curve inversions, 3-year slowdown to begin Q1 2021. Ending March 2021 based on U.S. Treasury. I'm losing it there, So let me see. There we are. Treasury what? Treasury yields 2.48 for 2-year versus, I couldn't see. Oh, versus. All right, let's just have a look at that. So I'm just going to show you this now. This in the Chapman wave methodology. We're looking at the 2-minute, the 5-minute, and the 10-minute E-minis. Look at this spectacular move, of course, in the in the two minute, and you can see how nice he's made higher highs. It takes intra-day, takes a half hour or so rest, and then it pops to a new high. So a lot of this money coming in right now, first of all, obviously it's going to be short covering. You can always say short covering when you see a rally like this, when you've been down so deeply. But what's really important is that you're looking also at new money coming in, and new money coming in at newly identified areas. And I like that. I think that's really important. When I was on with Tommy Jr. this morning, subbing for Tom, who had to be out, I was looking at this and saying, you know, the TLT's had a spectacular move to the upside. That's bonds. And you know, the theory has been always that higher yields really helps the banks. Well, we saw that didn't work because the banks just kept coming down. Suddenly the banks started to move up recently as everything else was tanking. And I think that says to me that yields are stuck in a range. They're not going back to the high side just yet. And they could be stuck in the, they could be stuck in a range that says, you know what? Don't worry about yields right now. We've been here many times before, and that's going to be important, right? So that kind of eliminates that. Crude oil needs to rally because you want to see crude oil and high-grade copper and wood. This is WOOD. So crude oil needs to get into that 51 area. Wood, which is the iShares Timber and Forestry ETF, plummeted to a trough E in the Chapman wave. It goes all the way down to 55.06. And now it's trading at 59, up 3 points. Big deal. But it is a big deal because it's trying to identify a turn in the daily, and that is internationally. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, let's see what the HGX is doing. I had a couple of questions about that. And that's the home builders. Well, home builders, whoa, this is a nice move up in the HGX because it was down to the 226 area, 227? 227.69 on the 26th of December. Now it's 15 points high. It's at 251, 25 points high. So that's going to be, this is important. And it's important because that weekly chart still looks horrible, but this arch formation, remember, this is a technique I'm going to be teaching in my all-day webinar, Wednesday, the 23rd of January, 9 till 12, a two-session day, 9 to 12, you'll get preparations before that. And then we practice certain techniques, to look at certain techniques. How do you use the MACD? Look at this MACD. Look how it crossed negative in the weekly chart when it made, after it made that peak G top in the 26th week of the 26th of January. And then that MACD deflected lower. What's a deflected lower? I'll explain what that means. It means that the price couldn't go higher. And then it deflected and got repelled and pushed even lower. Now the weekly chart has got a better histogram. The vertical lines are improving. And there was a very positive stochastic rally with a price decline to a trough G. We always look for those Gs in the weekly chart. And trough G reminds me, we've got Steve Rhodes giving a webinar early next week, I think Tuesday. I believe it's Tuesday. Check out the front page of TFNN. So my all-day webinar has that all these little ingredients that we put together in the early stage, and then we do it live from 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock, and then 4:30 to 4:30 we discuss what's the preparation for trades coming up in the rest of the week, so you can actually see it. And I'll be following up with people who attend my webinar, all-day webinar. I don't even know how many hours. It doesn't matter how many hours it is. It's just an all-day webinar. And then we take a lunch break, 12 to 1. I'm usually available, but people need a break. So we have a break between 12 and 1. And I'll take questions live. It's just, everything is live. I don't like big classes. I just want to have it fairly intimate so that we can really get to know one another, what you're looking at, why. I want to know what your platform does it do the trend lines? How can I help you with those? All sorts of things. It's really, I'm looking forward to it, obviously. Okay, so now let's go back. So the TU, which is like my sneeze earlier, that was the 2-year bond, made a peak D in the daily. There's the Chapman wave instant restart. Now, if this is a Chapman wave unconventional flat base restart, ooh, a lot of words, but that explains. It says there's a chance that this yield on the 2-year could pull all the way back towards the it's at 106.05. It could come back to 105.23, 105.11 over the next 3 weeks. That would be a stimulus to certain areas. That's the 2-year. So now we're talking about a yield. Paul keeps asking me about the yield curve. All I can say, this is just not my area of expertise. I just go from what I read in history. What happens, it takes a long time after the yield curve to actually implement some kind of recessionary action. That's what the history is. This is a period that is unconventional, so maybe things will change. But you can see how the weekly got repelled at the 200-period exponential moving average. I'm going to show you how important 200-period exponential moving averages could be. Let's just grab this. I haven't even looked at it before. Look at this. The yield, the 2-year, back in May, is down at the 105-ish area, and then it has a rally where? To the 200-period moving average, and it gets repelled. Then it gets repelled again, that whole area in December, over and under, over and under. Then it breaks out. That makes this 105.23 area very important as key support. Look at that sine wave between going under the 200 period, now over the 200 period. It says, yeah, this is very important. This is a very good move in yields. In other words, TLT. This is the yield itself. Now, wait a minute. Let me explain this. This is not the yield. This is the 2-year. What's it actually called? It's called the 2-year Treasury Note Continuous Contract. I'm sorry, didn't mean yield. I meant the contract himself. I'm saying, wait a minute, going up, it should be going down. Yeah, this is the contract that goes with the TLT, with bonds itself, etc. Gets repelled at the 200-period moving average in the weekly, and now that should be coming down, and the yield itself should be going up. Ooh, sorry, I almost said it wrong. I was thinking correctly, but saying it wrong. Okay, next question I had was, EEM. So EEM today should be rallying. Just 2 E's, not 3. The EEM up nicely. It's up 3.42% in leg C. Now, I had a question here about my Dow. So this is in leg C. The weekly chart really doesn't look great. It says, yeah, it should rally at 39.77. It needs to get into the 42s before you can really say that's a breakout. So a lot of work needs to be done. Let me just double check on my Dow chart. This is leg. Oh, all right, I'm back straight after these messages.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Hi folks, we're back. Dow's now had another move to the upside, 753 up, 81 in the S&P. So Cronus was a question, Cronus Group, cannabis stock. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying that was a very deep pullback in the daily chart. It had a spectacular run from the 7s all the way to almost 14, pulls back to the 9s, now it's trading at 11. So what I like to do in the techniques that I use, I like to see if I can make a cup formation. I did fill the gap, which is important, that really big gap from the high that it made. So it spikes to, on the 3rd of December, it spikes to 1189. Next day it starts to pull back, and the pullback takes it down to down to 976. And then it gaps up over the previous high in leg C and spirals up to that high of 13.95, I believe. Yeah. Then it pulls back to the 956 area, and now it's having another move to the upside. So, and the MACD is just about to cross negative as positive as we're looking at it. Stochastic's having a big move up 51%, but it's the weekly chart made a peak D with a very, very sharp, almost got cut in half. Did get cut in half. So I look at this and I say, okay, the first thing I would do is I draw the cup formation from the daily chart to show that, yep, there's another cup formation. That's the pattern of this particular characteristic of this particular stock. Not good enough. Then I draw a rectangle from the outer points, from the high that was made at 13.75 to the low that was made at 6.50. And I say, okay, good. Then I say, you know what? That's just the starter. I'm going to narrow this rectangle. Let's make it all the way into the low that was made right through the week of the 7th of 851. And let's make the high that was made at 13 points right here. So at 13.95, I've got that. And I'll look at it and I'll say, you know what? I'm going to make it even narrower. And I explain why I'm doing this. So now I'm going to go to the low of last week. And low of last week was 956. But then I look and I say, let's go to this particular level right here, the high of the 13.15. Now I say, okay, now I can look at this as time and price, because if I look at the number of bars down and the number of bars up, it's taking way too long to get back to the high. So there could be two parts to it. So it's got a cup formation, and now it's starting a secondary cup formation. That's the one you can see here in the daily chart. And it says to me that 1197 up 43 cents today, up 3.71, in line with most of the market, a little bit better actually. It hasn't taken out yesterday's high, but it has been moving up as the general market's moving down. Yesterday's high is 12.19. So here's what I'm looking at. If you're in this and you're looking at it, first of all, thank you for my wave counter, my wave whisperer in the den. You're absolutely correct. I just completely forgot. I didn't even check it. It is leg C, a very quick leg C in the Dow Daily. Thank you for that. Your help is always invaluable. So invaluable always sounds like it's not valuable. It's less than valuable. Valuable sounds valuable. Invaluable says maybe not so. No, very valuable. So the MACD is improving. The stochastic's okay at 53%. Here are my parameters. If you're long the stock, and some of the cannabis stocks are moving quite nicely, so I'm saying, yep, if the group's acting. I had one, remember today in my newsletter, I had one that I was going to buy, and then I didn't know what the result would be at 8:30, and I didn't want to mess around, because if it was high, not as high as it was, but if it was just moderately high, there could have been a lot of conflicting opinions. This big high says, okay, now we've got, maybe it's a good economy after all, but it also says that the higher from earlier in the morning had held, so I thought it would gap up too much, so we missed that, and it's having now a beautiful day. I would have said buying the 101s. It's at 109 right now. The other one that I wanted yesterday, and I just didn't put it in because I thought, oh man, I need another day for this whole sector to improve. Had a spectacular day yesterday, and another spectacular. It's up 10% today alone. So we missed those, but we got stuff that can't complain. All right, so we're looking at the Cronus. If you want, you can start your position here because the sector's starting to move a little bit. But in this case, I feel strongly that a lot of the work has been done in correcting the big move up and the gap down. And then at 11.99, you've got to give it some room. So maybe not such a big position. You can get in here, but just for another day or two, give it like 11.19, 11.20. Give it a little bit of room, even at 10% on a small position, because I think this is going to be a good stock looking out. And if you're in and it starts to move and it takes out 12.19, that's just 20 cents away, you can start another position. And this one here that you get would be your core position. And then you can start adjusting the stops. Okay? It looks like that's the way it is. And then you've got this SAR, the SAR, says that if it can close above 12.82 at any point in the next, I'd say 2 days, 3 days, this thing is going to go back to that high and start leg D in the weekly. So those are your parameters. Next question I had was statements. IYT. All right, let's just run these things. IYT up 3.93% at 166. This is starting on leg B. It's got a lot of resistance at the 14-period moving average, and that 14-period moving average is at 166.45. But the way I'm looking at it is this candle here, the candle of the 19th of December with a high of 171.46. That will be my target if this thing really closes nicely today, and that'll really help the weekly chart try to make a nice upside turn. Next question I had was, here we go, did the yield curve, FXI, that is the China 25, I think it was called the large cap ETF. Nice bounce, made a low yesterday, didn't take out the major low of November at 41.95. The last low was 39.60. No, it went to round number 38 low, and now it's trading at 39.59. Yeah, it's really important that the FXI gets going here. This needs to get to the 41.5, or I'd say 40.60 area by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And there's no time for pulling back here. This is it. A question about the SMHs. SMH. That's the semiconductor ETF. SMH. What a long day already, huh? It's really, I think it's the first quarter that before you see the semiconductors garner some buying. They've got so much inventory from what I hear. Yeah, maybe it goes higher at 86.16. By the way, it's acted yesterday and even today. It needs to get to 92. It needs to get to 92 and hold there for at least 2 out of 3 weeks. No way must it hit 82 in the next 3 weeks, or else that's a real problem. All right, let's see what our short term is saying. Yep, we've gone to the leg D in the 5 minute, leg F or F/C in the 10 minute of the E-mini. Nice action. I was going to talk about this arc formation that held so beautifully and ran up. This is leg E in the 2 minute chart. I'll be back.
The secret to being successful in trading and investing is to have an untiring, undying, and unquenchable thirst for knowledge. There are certain situations where you can absolutely understand what the next move of the buyers and sellers is likely to be, or what I like to call a competitive advantage. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in bonds, and on Tuesday, January 8th, I'm going to teach subscribers of Mastering Probability how to use Tom DeMark's setup 9-count and trend lines, a tool that called for a change in trend at 3:30 in the morning on the day that generated the Dow's largest daily point gain in history. If you're looking for a competitive edge, then now is the time to take advantage of my risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee trial for my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability, which will provide you with immediate access to this live workshop, which will be archived on your members page for the next 30 days. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Sign up today at TFNN.com.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of the Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. So I will be back at 3 o'clock. Back at 3 o'clock to do Tom's show. So, and also check out my opening call newsletter. Hopefully it's beneficial and profitable for you. Look at the automated Chapman wave signals right here, the projections. The VIX index is coming down. It's at 22.25, still very high. If this market is going to continue up, VIX has to go to the 18s, and then it has to go to the 16s. If it stays in the 22 area, it says, you know what, there's still too much buying of insurance. There are enough people not believing it that VIX can remain a little higher. So just real quickly, let's do this. This is the Dow projections. It's right at resistance here at the 23,450 area. You can see in the 10-minute, huge in the 120-minute, in the 23,450 to 23,560, 23,600 area in the 120-minute chart. 21,264 was major support in the monthly, and 23,584 in the weekly is resistance. So you can see it's going to be very interesting because spectacular move from the lows of December the 26th till now, but in fact, not if you're looking at the daily chart that just went straight down for 4 consecutive days from the 24,100s to that low. So the S&P, and let me just do this, I don't want to run out of time. Look at the QQQ right now. QQQ is up 6.53 at 156.34. No resistance here on the left side until you get to the through the 157.60, 157.37. But look at that support in the 133s. That we didn't get even close to that. So that's good. This says, watch this closely, because if the Qs can pick up energy and hold into the close today being Friday, it sets everything in motion for the weekend. All of a sudden, there's going to be good news throughout the weekend. Monday, we could even gap to the upside. That'll be important. How does it hold, and what does it entail? So, wrapping up for now. See you a little later at 3 o'clock, 2 hours time for the Tom O'Brien Show. My pleasure to do that. And check out my opening call. Please go to the front page of TFNN for an all-day webinar, Wednesday, the 23rd of April, 9 to 12, and then 1 to 4:30. What perfect conditions to study techniques and learn different methodologies. I'll be back later on. Have a great day.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.